Good afternoon on what is a cold, bright day. It is Thursday, November the 4th. I am back in the region Nook with a cat who is not ours. And a nice hot cup of tea. Really need it on a day like this. And more parcels to unbox. Now I've already unboxed several parcels. The next one I'm going to do is this one. Now this one comes courtesy of Neve, and she's not even opened it, so she's letting me open it for the first time. So let's get to it. Okay, it comes away fairly easily. Nice change for a title from the Johnstone Compendium, because she's told me what it is, which is this, which is Black Spear, which is a Hero Wars saga for RuneQuest. By Nick Brook and Mike O'Connor. It's available on the Johnstone Compendium, and you can buy it in different formats. This, I believe, is the premium. So let's have a look. Know then, O Prince, that in the sea season after the Battle of the Queens was Colomar's Black Spear sent forth to rouse Argrath from his slumbers. And it's sort of basically a medley of sort of like cartoonish artwork on the back. That's fine. I'm not criticising the artwork. It has sort of like, it certainly does literally has impact. So we have an side, and we've got more of that artwork. It's almost Doctor Zeus-like, I have to admit, which gives it sort of like a certain sense of storytelling to it. I mean, just looking at that, it is cartoony. It can't be denied, but it still works. I'm not saying it's bad artwork, but it's not the sort of thing that normally you would see in a role-playing supplement. We have it's all artwork by Mike O'Connor, apart from a couple of bits. And this comes with quite a lengthy credit section, because really it's one of the things you talk about in RuneQuest. There's a lot of things to really you can take and build from, and build into a supplement and influence a scenario or a supplement, because it's got quite a lot of story and a lot of history and lore. So. This is for adventurers that are already trusted by Queen Lyca of the Clonmore tribe as a reliable band of heroes who can get things done. It's already likely that the leader is one of her thanes, and essentially, if your adventurers have experienced one or more epic scenarios like the Dragon of Thunder Hills, the Smoking Rune, or the Duel at Dangerford, then this scenario is for you. And it's basically, and I think all of those scenarios are available. Dragon of Thunder Hills is in the Gems Adventures book for the Gems pack for RuneQuest Roleplaying Glorantha. Smoking Rune is its own hardback, and the Duel of Dangerford you'll find as a print-on-demand book on the Johnstone Compendium. You see, you can. There's stuff in here which you kind of useful information. The Adventures book is useful. Glorantha Source book is useful, and then some of the order books are handy. Borderlands, Pavis, Sun County, and or River of Cradles. Fortunately, all of those are now available in print. Okay, there was a point where they weren't. They are now in print. Let's see what it's about. Do you want to see what it says? Let's have a look. Essentially, it takes place, starts at the player character's stead, essentially their base of operations. Now, if you've played through the GM Adventures book, that has Defending Apple Lane, and one of the endings of that is potentially one of the player characters can be appointed Thane of Apple Lane. That's what's happening in my campaign as we currently speak, as I'm running it for the second time. So in the future, I will take this. My player characters can very well play this. It's definitely in their future. Where does this take place? It's in the spring of 1627, after Kalia Starbrow's death, but before Argrath's return to Sartar. and essentially it takes place sort of like during the opening manoeuvres of the hero wars, much prophesized in RuneQuest, and really with the new edition of RuneQuest Roleplaying Glorantha, we're getting there. So what you've got in between, essentially, if you pick this up, so 1627, you've got the sort of like the last half, or basically quarter or half of 1625 to play through, then 1626, and then you can get onto this. And so there's plenty of space in between there to run your own stuff, and your adventures can get fairly busy. So it's divided into several acts. So you've got 7 acts: the Warband, Desert Storm, Cradle, Delta, Five Eyes, Blind Countess, Dragon Rising, Argos, Masks, and so on. Okay, let's see. It says here the Duel at Dangerford, which is Nick Brook's previous scenario, sets things up for this, and that's a scenario I definitely want to run, in part because it's I can run it. It's part. I'm gonna do like a trilogy of Dangerford adventures, sort of like going up to Dangerford, coming back, and sort of like the Lunar Empire kind of faints back and forth. We get to the point where we've got the mission, get hold of the Black Spear, and it explains what Argos' recent history is and how to handle the spear. That's all part of the mission. Before we go on to Desert Storm, and this is interesting. Basically, this second part will take them the 200 miles across to Pavis, and to the next part of the scenario, and it's all designed to be quite heroic, as you can see by the artwork. I'll show this one a bit of an artwork here early on. So yeah, almost as if sort of like, that's how they're going to get across it. It's essentially by a winged, basically a serpent-drawn chariot. And again, don't know the specific details. I'm literally looking at this for the first time. This is my first reaction. I definitely want to review this and get a copy myself, in part because I will run it if my players want to play it, do it. And then essentially we've got a bit more detail. Basically, again, we've got a nice map from the Argon Atlas, and that's showing kind of the roots of the player characters, giving a bit more context for devotees. And then we are into the Cradle Delta, dealing with rogue baboons. My characters have just run into baboons for the first time playing in Gringo's pawn shop. And then they go down to Corfu and dealing with wolf pirate ships and several from the Delta Blues down there. So there's lots of jokes in here as well. So here we've got basically a bit more expanding detail upon their route and the area where they're playing. And this is something you don't want to encounter, but again, I said the artwork, I really love the artwork in it because it's really different to what you normally see in a RuneQuest supplement, and it's really, as I say, it's cartoonish, almost Dr. Seussian, but still necessarily heroic and almost on a different scale than you would normally see basically we've got a player cat left to go into a Five Eyes temple. So caves. Don't see a map for it. And again, more puns. Panic in the Five Eyes Disco. And if you probably want to cue the right music for that. And there's one of the things in here is that you can actually sort of like play certain particular pieces of music to get the right tone. And this essentially, we've got a complete RuneQuest scenario in basically hero quest here as well. So it's probably a good idea if the player characters have got one or more of their own hero quests under the belt, so they know what they're doing. And we've got a discussion of Newtling spirit cults here, River Horse and Frogwoman. And that may well be useful. Basically, maybe you can probably sort of like begin to point at that if they've played through, for example, the Rainbow Mounds, whether that's in the original Apple Lane or in or Rainbow Mounds 2 in the new forthcoming starter set, which comes out as I speak in 6 days' time. And I really want to see a copy of that because I played the scenarios and they're fun. Then we get into this quest, the Sunfolk, got the plan of the Sundown Temple there. Sorry, Tiddles has just gone racing across up the garden, I don't know why. And then, I mean, honestly, there's so much going on here. And then we basically play characters that are dealing with different aspects. And one of the things that I didn't actually see, but I do now see, is the way you've got the axe actually, basically, if you have a look, you see that? You've got different colours along here for the different chapters. But the different chapters have got the different runes here. So, you know, you've got air there, and then the next one you've got is movement, and then hello, Tiddles is back. Then when you're dealing with sort of like the you get down to Corflu and you've got the water rune, just nice attention to detail there, and then fertility, I think. Believe I'm doing this off the top of my head, so if I get those wrong, I do apologise. And then fire or sun. That's actually one I don't know offhand, I will admit. But there are lots of runes I don't know, so I'm not entirely, you know, conversing in everything, much to the disappointment of some of my RuneQuest players. I don't know everything. And then we are going basically the next section, Dragon Rising, I presume that's actually probably the dragon newt at a guess, or dragons. Okay, and again the puns keep coming. So we have this first section, it's the Superb Owl. Not the Super Bowl, the Superb Owl, which is a joke in our household. Every sort of like January 31st. Are you watching the Superb Owl? Yes, I am. So, yeah. We finally get down to the last one, which is Mastery, and with Argonath Masks, and we bring the basically the hero quest to basically the Hero Wars saga to a close, and find out what's going on. This ultimately looks utterly amazing. You know, what's fantastic is about this is just the inventiveness and the writing quality of a lot of the titles on the Johnstown Compendium is fantastic, and I'm sure this is going to join them, because you know, it's not just enough. It's not just fan writing; it's knowledgeable fan writing and writing great adventures and source books and source material. Just looks at Cups of Clear Wine, same kind of situation. If you look at things like Six Seasons in Sartar and Company of the Dragon, basically they do the same thing. And here we have at the end the author's notes, always useful because basically it gets you know, it gives him a chance to explain what he was doing. He got an alternative take in here, and then we've got handouts at the end as well. For example, like handout 3, yeah, I'm wearing the Imperial Regalia. So yeah, this is my first impression of Black Spear, and there's some advertising at the end. So you have the Sandheart Militia trilogy there. It's actually Cortec, because there's a new one out as well, and they're really good. And then the one thing you would want to look at is Duel of Dangerford, which is really good if you have a humanity amongst your number of player characters. And that's Black Spear. Look fantastic. I look forward to reading that. It'll be fun to play, I hope. And I'm going to be disappointed because I've got to run this, not play it, for my sins. But yeah, that's available in the Johnstown Compendium. Do go look at a copy. If you're into RuneQuest at all, look at adding this to sort of like basically the later stages of your campaign at the moment, as you get through 1625, 1626 and into 1627, especially if you are playing a campaign based in Sartar. This is a good addition, I would suggest. Anyway, thank you once again for watching another unboxing in the Nook. If you've enjoyed this, please do click the like button down below. If you comments or feedback, appreciate you posting those, and I do read them. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to me coming out into the Nook, where you will see me with a parcel and a book or game to unbox and talk about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea. And a cat who is not ours, then please do hit that subscribe button. Okay, and lastly, of course, thanks again for watching. I'll be back again soon with another unboxing in the Nook. Bye for now.